What it do is DOA, DOA, nigga. We back. Another episode of putting shit together. We gonna continue on with them secret steps of alchemy. Or I won't say secret, I meant to say sacred steps of alchemy. They hiding in plain sight. The first one was calcination. The second one was dissolution or sublimation. If y'all ain't seen them videos, go check both of those out. I see that second step didn't have as many views as it should. A lot of y'all might have fell off, man. Don't fall off yet. We elevating to another dimension, to our highest manifestation. So you definitely don't want to fall off before we get to where we need to be. You know, seek your understanding and make sure you overstand it so you can apply it in your life. But we gonna get on into it. So this third step is separation. Separation, one of my favorite steps. Separation is represented by Scorpio in the zodiac and the chemical compound sodium carbonate. And sodium carbonate is also known as natron. Natron is sea salt, pretty much. It's the foam that washes up on the shore from the oceans, from the seawater. So they call it natron. A lot of people, I think, buy it. It's like some type of facial additive or whatever, a skincare product, I should say. But natron, it represents the common tendency of all salts to form solids or clumps. So salt has a tendency to form together or clump together, and that's exemplified by the natron that washes up the shore off the sea foam. Separation in a chemical sense, in the chemistry sense, would be through filtration of the calcined and dissolved material from the first two steps. So after you dissolve or soak the ash from calcination in water, then you want to filter it out and discard all the unworthy parts of the substance. So we trying to get to the true essence of the substance through filtration. Okay? When you isolate the true essence of your substance, you're able to see the ingredients that's needed moving forward in order to get to where you want to go. In this instance, it's our golden state. So you'll get to see what needs to be added back once you separate the parts of the dissolved matter. You'll isolate these separate parts and you'll get to see what's needed in order to continue forward with your mixture. So it's the rediscovery of our essence that's been previously rejected by our male side or our masculine energy. So for those of you that did see dissolution, while in that soaking state, we were supposed to let the female ideas and energy rise back to the surface. And in this instance, it's the rediscovery of that essence that's been rejected by the masculine state. Also, it's been hidden away by our parents, by the churches, by schooling, pretty much the constraints of our upbringing. So we want to let those reemerge, and we want to rediscover them and reintegrate them into our lifestyle. So this represents separation from your emotional trigger responses, and distinguish our true personality from our acquired personality. You want to separate yourself from those emotional trigger responses that you've made habitual throughout your life. You want to be able to take a step back, look at those, and separate from those. It also, to activate it, you also need to let go of resentment and negativity. And physically, the way you activate it is through breathing exercises, deep breaths, deep breathing, and yoga breathing exercises. So for those of you that are practitioners of yoga, you'll know that there are some breathing exercises that are taught through this science of yoga. But for those of you that are not well versed on that, I would suggest to get into yoga. It's not something exclusive to a type of person. It's really one of the keys to this walking in Christ, or these alchemical steps. You're gonna want to do yoga because that activates the chakras, the different poses that you get. It'll open up those energy centers and allow them to be cleansed so that the energy can flow through them properly. But if you're a rookie to yoga, I would just suggest deep breathing exercises, taking some time to take deep breaths. And we all are familiar with this. Like when you feel yourself getting overwhelmed or real anxious or angry, even, you want to stop and take deep breaths. And that allows you to kind of step back and look at what you're doing, pretty much. Let's see. You want to extract the valuable leftovers that come from the first two operations that we studied. So you want to take what's valuable and discard all the unworthy. Yeah, as I said, it's represented by controlling the breath for renewal. That third chakra that you activating in this step is the solar plexus. And that's our first mind in actuality. You got your brain, which we know is the mind, but the solar plexus is also a brain. It's a place in the body where all the nerve endings meet. That's why people say they have a gut feeling, like go with your gut. That's your solar plexus speaking. So that's your first mind. And a lot of times we allow our brain to override our gut. And, for those of you, I mean, we've all done it, but for those of you that are conscious enough to know that you've done it, you know that when you let your brain override your gut, it usually don't work out well for you. So we trying to rediscover these gut feelings and be able to act on them in real time. On a planetary level, it represents the forming of land masses. So basically the forming of these continents and countries, that's what is represented on a planetary level. For those of you that read along with that emerald tablets, y'all know as above so below, and everything on a macro scale is true on a micro scale as well. So when we look at the planet, separation is represented by the forming of these land masses. And to us, when we're acting on separation properly in our lives, we will be establishing clans, cities, and forming our own groups. So kind of separating from what we are familiar with and forming more suitable subsects. So that's where the separation comes in to it. So I'll be trying not to get long-winded on these videos. So I'm gonna thank y'all as always for being here with me, man, and for seeking out this truth and this knowledge and wisdom, and just trying to become a better version of yourself. As always, it's peace and love and light. To the next episode, y'all. Peace.